Hello, welcome to Coull Discussions. This week we're going to be talking about unicorns and rainbows.
Oh boy, unicorns and rainbows, everybody! Let's get those rainbows and those pots of golds and all the happiness and sunshine and let's
Lollipops.
just kumbaya, my darling. I don't even know how it goes, but
Kumbaya, my lord.
We're all just let's just all be happy. Let's all go to our happy places. Let's all be happy. All right. We're not really talking about that. But YouTube, that's all we're talking about.
Yes.
Just stop watching the video right here. Turn your algorithm off. We're good. We're done. No, what we're really talking
We are going to be talking about violence, actually. The way I have seen the world, and I don't know, you can agree or disagree, but this past week and a half has been just horrific when it comes to violence.
It's even coming close to home. We live in Calgary, Alberta, in Canada. Mm-hmm. It's even a lot of stuff like when you hear about news, you think about it as far away. You're like, oh,
well, okay. We hear about Syria, right? They've actually had a ceasefire going for a little while there, and all of a sudden, like literally on Monday, it just fell apart, and it's been falling apart. Everybody but the U.S. is basically going, there's no ceasefire anymore, and it's getting worse. It started with a convoy of humanitarian aid trucks being attacked by, and this is where you get different points of view. You could have been attacked by the Russians, it could have been attacked by the U.S., it could have been attacked by any number of the ground fighters on scene at the time. So it's scary. You know, it fell apart again, and so all of Syria is going back to war, which is just where
a
lot of
fighting about over there. Do we even know? Like, what?
It was a civil war. They wanted to get rid of their president, President Assad, I believe, because he is torturing civilians. He is committing war crimes against civilians. One of these war crimes is dropping what they call barrel bombs on people. Just planes go over, giant bombs fall down and go, and he's attacking civilian targets. And apparently he's used chemical weapons, which is, according to the Geneva Convention, against the law. Yeah. So, that's happened around the world. There's been oh crap, I forgot. And in Asia, there's plenty of drug crimes going around. There's plenty of violence.
Isn't there like an insane 10 murders a day in Chicago or some crap?
Yeah,
I heard something like that.
I
don't know if it's 10. I don't know the exact number, but I know it's a very large amount.
And we'll start to get just a little closer to home. In the U.S., it's been horrendous.
Well, there was a bombing in
New York. There's been actually one bomber who was caught alive after a gunfight against police. New York police, but he was believed to be responsible for 2 bombs that exploded and 5 other ones that were set to explode. One bomb blew, injured 29 people. There was no loss of life, which is very thankful. There was another bomb that went off in New Jersey half an hour before a charity run for veterans of the military in the States was about to go. So if the bomb had gone off a half an hour later, it would have been right in the middle of the run, and killed a lot more.
So that's there's tons of this terrorist crap happening, and it's like, I don't understand where these people, I don't understand their mindset. I don't understand your mindset of I want to blow people up for no reason. I want to blow people up because they believe something different than me, and it's just weird. It blows my mind, and it's kind of scary. It's very weird. It's just very it's very disheartening. You know what I mean? And it's and I can see where people get angry and we're and have hate towards those groups because we do that. We as a society we throw judgment. We throw blanket judgments over everything. So if you're a monkey, we expect you to eat bananas. You know what I mean? And it's So like if you're a Muslim, we all start thinking that you're a terrorist, and it's like unfortunate because a small select few people have given you a bad name.
And that's a debatable thing. Is like you can look this up on YouTube. There are better argument. People will make better arguments, but you say a small select few people. Now, depending on what percentage you use, we'll use one of the smaller numbers. It's like say it's 5%. This number has been equated to be as high as 20.
Of Muslims or terrorists?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, so just imagine it's 5%. Now, there are 1.2 billion Muslims in the world.
It's a lot of people, and, it is a lot of, like, when you look at it in that number, but...
And just to put it into an even smaller number, 5%. So 5 out of every 100 Muslims you meet will want to kill you. Now, that's the same, it's like the stat for people being gay. There's a 10% chance, there's a 10% of the population is gay. So basically, out of every 10 people you meet, one of them is gay. Not every 10 people you meet, one of them is going to be gay, but that's just a statistic. Same with the Muslim one. If you meet 100 Muslims, chances are 5 of them are not going to want to kill you, but it's a percentage. We use percentages to explain things easier. And it's a scary number.
Well, anything above 0 is scary of people who want to kill you. You know what I mean? But to the majority, because we live in a world of majorities, right? Mm-hmm. The majority of them are not terrorists. They're good people. Definitely good people. We'll say good people. They don't want to blow you up. They don't want to...
But again...
You know what I mean? And
that's also an arguable fact, too. It's like, if you're going... If we say a low number, 5%, just say it's, again, equated that 60% of Muslims care about Sharia law. And Sharia law basically it boils down to, now this is oversimplifying certain things, is that they want Sharia law to be the law of the land. No democracy, no freedom, Sharia law. That's it. And Sharia law can say a lot of things, but a lot of them are not very good against what we would consider, us Westerners, consider to be freedom. So, if you're talking about 60% of the Muslim population agrees with this...
It is a lot. Yeah, it is a lot.
Again, these 60%
that's the thing,
aren't going to be as inclined... 60% can be a high number. I'm not saying all of them. But... if you have, just say even half of them, 30, they're going to go, oh, I know a guy who wants to kill people. And they're going to go, meh.
I don't, if you want to believe in this law, I don't see an issue with that. It's when you commit violence and commit harm to others, that's where it's crossing the line. So if your law tells you to go kill people if they don't believe you, and you're smart enough to go, well, that's silly. There's a lot of laws in Canada, right? Laws, regulations, and I can go, well, that's pretty silly. Like how drugs are illegal, and I go, well, that's pretty silly. You know what I mean? Where alcohol is legal, that's just it's another debate, another story for another time. But it's a problem with the person who doesn't have the ability to filter and to use their mind and common sense. Mm-hmm. Well, I call it uncommon sense because it's not very common. Mm-hmm. To be able to go, well, it's not right to kill people. If you think it's right to kill people, then it's a problem with you as an individual. As a person.
If your rights are enforced by your belief system.
But everybody has a right to life. So if you think that you have the right to take somebody's life, then you don't deserve the right to life. In my mind, because it's like you are not like the almighty maker of decision making of life. In my life, I'm the almighty decision of my own life. If I choose to go jump off a bridge, that's my choice.
No, silly. No. You have a valid point there, and that's where a lot of tension and what people are calling Islamophobia is coming from, because it's like, these people have a certain belief and desire
It's
to
silly.
do certain things.
I don't
And
understand.
other people are going, well, you guys shouldn't. And it's like, well, you're attacking us.
I want somebody who believes in this to tell me why it's right. Not just because a book says so, but I want them to tell me why, in their right mind, they think it's right to take somebody else's life because of their beliefs. I want somebody to tell me why it's right to take somebody's life because of their lifestyle, because of their life choices. I really do. I want somebody to look me in the face and tell me that.
And even Buddhism, Christianity, sheiks, they believe in the sanctum of human life. They say that, killing somebody is not... It's a horrible thing to do. So, it's there. There are possibilities out there. So...
We could go down this road like tons because there's a lot more.
So
but we're gonna pull
starting
back.
to peel back just a little.
We're gonna go back to the violence that's happening.
So back to the States. This guy, he planted a whole bunch of bombs. In Charlotte, North Carolina, there has been 3 nights of
protests.
2 nights of rioting. The last night that they did it, it was a peaceful protest. There was a curfew, but there were no incidences. So
What was this? What were they rioting over?
Okay, so again, this is something that's becoming really common in the news in the U.S. is a cop shoots a black man.
Was it that woman?
No, this was a different one. Again, see...
There's so many cops who are shooting people nowadays.
2 in a week. In the space of a week.
So, there was this one in Charlotte. I think it was of a black man, right?
Yeah,
and
black man.
There was accusations of them planting a gun on him, right? I think. Was that the one?
There's
so many we can't even keep them straight.
Okay, this is the one. This is the North Carolina one. So a guy was pulled over. He was told to keep his hands up. He didn't keep his hands up. He looked like he was gonna... He reached into his truck... Depending on how you want to view it. Some people say he reached into his truck, he came out, he had something in his hand, he was shot.
That one wasn't the lady cop, right?
No, it wasn't the lady cop.
Okay,
so
Tulsa.
There was that one, which led to protests that night, which led to rioting. And then that night somebody got shot, and... They're saying it was by police, but we're hearing that it's actually by somebody got shot in the riot by somebody else in the riot.
It just makes my brain hurt.
And then the next night there was more rioting, and people were like, "Oh, you got to show the video, and a video got released, and the video shows nothing. Nothing.
The video of the riots or the shooting?
No, of the shooting. The initial incident that started the protesting in North Carolina.
As we were saying, there was another shooting in Tulsa, Oklahoma, of a female cop shot a man. I'm not going to identify color or anything. We all know, he shot a human being. She shot a human being because he wasn't listening to her orders.
Yeah.
She's claiming that he went to reach in there's a whole bunch of claims, this, and this. This cop has been charged with first-degree manslaughter by the district attorney in Oklahoma. There's a whole bunch of this protesting happening of Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. We've talked a little bit about it before, but I just don't understand. In the case of in North Carolina, where you think, as a person, you hear, oh, somebody got shot. I'm gonna go break some car windows, set them on fire. I'm gonna ruin my community that I live in because I'm not happy with the way. I'm gonna call for cops to be killed because I don't think this is right.
Chanting in the streets. What do we want?
You guys,
all cops dead.
Yeah,
what
you guys realize
want?
that's like the start of like war, right? That could potentially turn your state or a province or your country into a police state, police country, where the government's just gonna go, hey, you guys are out of control, we're gonna take it over. If you're out they could potentially, this is extreme, put curfews on us, put restrictions on.
There is curfews.
Curfews
are one of the first things you get to do is just to get people off the streets to make them safe. And
there's gonna be check stops. There's gonna be like all this kind of things. It's one of those things of when you protest,
you're right. Why are you rioting? It's like the
Or
protesters.
I've heard people beating up white people just cause, or beating other people up. I think from now on I'm not even going to identify color, because I think it's just human beings being idiots on human beings. To beat up another human being because for no reason is absolutely ridiculous. They're doing destroy. They're doing it because of what they think.
Yeah, exactly. Now,
you're no better than a terrorist. I'm sorry, but you're no better than a terrorist, because what do terrorists do? They blow you up because of the way you think. So what are you doing? You're beating up somebody because of the way they look and the way they think, and then what you think they think. And it's like, so if you come and beat me up, I'm totally okay. Maybe I am racist, but I don't discriminate on color, religion, sexuality. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you look like. If you're a cool person, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to hang out with you. If you're an asshole, I'm going to not talk to you. You know what I mean? And you beat me up because I have white skin. Like, it makes zero sense. Zero.
And another thing that always is bugging us is, like, on the first night of rioting, they took over I-90 or I-85, which is an interstate in the U.S. They looted 2 semi-trailers and set a third one on fire. And it's just like, no.
Again, I want somebody in this movement to tell me where they think this is right. It doesn't matter if you can try to disassociate yourself with these people who are doing this, but they're chanting your moniker in their riots, in their criminal activity. So how is it right? How is it okay? Yes, I don't think the right way to go about it is to kill people, beat people up, destroy properties. The right way is to look at this and go, and the government, I hate that word, and has to step in and go, our police forces are not trained properly. Our police forces have to be trained better in non-lethal methods of takedown. Their first response is to reach for guns.
Okay, and it's a good point. Now, I'll counterpoint with this right here. Now, the reason why violence why we're talking about violence is because normally violence literally just happens across the border, across the world, right? It's not our backyard. But along the same time that this stuff was happening in Calgary, in one day, I don't think it's been an incredibly long time since we've had 2 shootings in one day, both involving police officers. Now, I'll counterpoint to yours. You're reaching for a gun is first. There was an incident at one of our C-train stations. A guy was seen brandishing a knife. He ran to the neighboring mall. A police officer followed him into that mall. Stuff happened. Now, all we've heard so far is, one, the cop did use a taser. Okay? He used a taser and then had to shoot the guy. And this is what I think probably happened. He pulled a taser out, which is the way you should aim for first. I get it. He shoots the guy. Taser doesn't do anything. He's not affected, which I find really weird because tasers are just meant.
Well, when you're on drugs, it could. And go ahead. I'll let you.
Okay, so he tasers the guy. The guy just gets annoyed. He has this machete, which is like 18 inches long, which is about like that. They showed a picture of it, and it's like it was big. This was pretty scary for. The guy charged the cop. He swung. He hit him in this shoulder right here. He did massive tissue damage, and that's when the officer pulled the gun and shot him.
Well, that's fine. That's like to me, that's justified.
No. That's justifiable, and I get it. But I think American cops, because of the mentality of the people that they have to deal with. Okay.
I think American cops are scared.
They are scared. This is why.
Because the public is more heavily armed than them.
This is why. How hard is it when a cop goes, put up your hands, put your hands behind your head, get on the ground? How hard is that? Okay, I've seen so many videos and just researching this where nobody does that.
Yeah, everybody goes.
They're all like, "Fuck you! I
yeah.
didn't do anything raw." And a cop will come up, "Sir," and like touch the guy, and he'll, and it's just like
they go in with an angry attitude. I know that. Okay, yes, it sucks getting pulled over by the police, and but what are we supposed to do? Do you want to risk getting shot? Do you want it? Really, is it worth it to have a videotape on your phone of you getting taken down and you, I'm all cool. You know what I mean? It's like, look how many views I'm going to get on YouTube. It's like, I think, is it right? No, of course not. But you have to understand that these police are here to enforce laws. You have a broken tail light. They pull you over and you start being a dick. How would you react? How would you react if you were like, hey, can you just, you have a broken taillight. I'm just letting you know. Like, okay, maybe the cop should just be like, hey, and it could go both ways. Hey, you have a broken taillight. Could you get that fixed? I'm giving you a warning. Be on your way. Have a merry day. I just wanted to know, just so you knew that you have a broken taillight or something's wrong. Hey, you're not wearing your seatbelt. Can you put your seatbelt on, dude? Like maybe not be right to tickets.
Okay. We're in Canada. I know we have a little bit more of a polite society than the U.S. does, and unfortunately, you're right. People, when they're pulled off, are automatically.
I guess it's hard for us because we're just a couple of white dudes, and I don't think I've ever been pulled over.
But we have been told at a young age, is like when a policeman talks to you, you go yes or no, sir, and answer the question. You don't
even necessarily have to answer the question. You don't have to answer the question.
But
you can go. If you're in a traffic stop,
you can just go, no, sir.
You can give them just your license registration. You don't have to answer any questions. It's your right not to answer questions. It is your right. I get it, but you don't have to you can just be like, I'm not answering the question. Yeah. I'm not answering the question. Here's my license registration. I'm not answering the question. No, I'm not answering any questions. That's all you have to say. You don't have to be like, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do that. You don't have to get hostile. Yeah. Because then it just elevates the situation, and it's like, whoa.
Because if you escalate, the policeman is going to go, okay, what is this guy?
Yeah, what is he hiding? It automatically makes you look guilty.
Yeah, and policemen, weird. When they pull you over, they don't want to be doing this stuff. They just want to be driving around, talking to people. They want to be like it was. I use quotations. Our idyllic scenario of the 50s when people are walking around, talking, happy, know your neighbors, know your policemen. They don't want to be treating us like the bad guys. They just want to go, you're speeding. Oh,
I think it comes from both sides. I think we as a society need to in a sense, be easier to deal with, but at the same time, I think that our laws need to be maybe like redefined in some areas.
And here's the thing: this is where Black Lives Matter can make a huge difference. If you want to change a law, great. You protest. You make sure that when an election comes, you have a different candidate. You get involved in these political parties, and you go, oh, we want to be on the side of the Democrats. Okay, we're going to go
start your own political party.
In the States, I think it's a little harder to do that.
It probably is because they only have two parties for the president.
No, true. But on a state level, on a Congress level, on a Senate level, I guess maybe you can run as independents. But Black Lives Matter could easily hop on an independent train and go, hey, we're putting this guy up because, one, this is what this guy believes. And this guy could... I'm sure there are a lot of people that support the Black Lives Movement that are... that would come across as the Congress type, like business tie suit, educated, lawyer, businessman type thing. And
I do support the Black Lives Matter. Like when I look at, I understand what they're coming from, but I don't support people destroying property and committing violence.
I can't support.
So that's where I'm having a hard time going. Hello, you say Black Lives Matter, but you're destroying other people's properties and businesses.
And it's Donald Trump said this. This is the best part. He says, Black Lives Matter is hurting your own community. When you riot, you are destroying African American property and you're hurting your own kind.
Do you not? Yeah, exactly. Do you not understand that you're hurting your own community? You're hurting yourselves. In a sense, you're shooting yourself in the foot. And it's like... Where do you...
Protest. Don't block lanes of traffic. Don't burn things. Don't destroy property.
Yeah. Imagine I'm trying to get home. You're trying to get home and somebody's blocking because we hear you.
Yeah. And it's just like, okay, all you're doing is just making me mad.
Yeah, I know. All you're making me do is having a negative impact on at your cause. You know what I mean?
You don't need that.
I would think the same way about gays. If they blocked traffic and I was trying to get home and they were blocking a highway, I'd be like, "What are you doing?
Get out of the way. I want to go home."
Like, what? Like, I would have the same negative reaction to that as well. I wouldn't just. It's not just because it's Black Lives Matter. I would have, if it was, we love teddy bears blocking traffic. I would be,
get out of my way.
Get out of my way.
Go home.
Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And it's just weird, and I can't fathom how, And another incident happened here in Calgary. There was a brutal shooting of a couple in their garage, while their 5-year-old kid was in the back of the car.
Yes.
Now they're saying it was like a gangland style shooting.
It was gang related.
Now I don't understand how you as a person could have so much hate and resentment towards somebody that you would shoot them dead with their child in the backseat.
Opportunity.
You know what I mean? And it's like,
they might not have had another opportunity to kill them. So, but yeah, we had that a couple days later after the 2 police shootings. The other police shooting was he went up to a truck. He looked in the truck. The guy in the truck panicked. The officer saw a rifle in the seat, which you're not supposed to have rifles, just lying about. And the cop, the guy in the truck, kicked it into gear, aimed for the police officer. The cop shot into the truck twice. He didn't hit anybody. He hit the truck. The truck crashed into a gas line and just kind of foobarred the whole area. Nothing serious ever came of it.
I understand, I understand why people are scared, because the laws are very hard to understand. So if you get pulled over and you don't understand, if I have a hunting knife, I was stopped at a check stop, exactly, Papers Police check stop, which was disguised as we're checking baby seats thing. The policeman, can I have your license? Number one, why do you need to take my license if you're just checking the seat? You don't need my license to look at a seat. That's where I think it's wrong. Number two, he walked around the back of my car looking in every single window to look at the car seat. What if I had a knife, or say I had just a hunting knife in the back? The very back of my car. I could get in trouble for that. And I wouldn't even have known. I would have been like, oh, I forgot it was there. But now I could go to jail. So I understand where people can get nervous because the laws are so hard to interpret and you don't know, I have a gun in my car, but it's not holstered properly, it's not racked properly, it's, you know what I mean? It's what is right and what is wrong. So that's where I think lawmakers should make the laws a little bit easier to understand for the layman.
Yes.
We're not all lawyer types. We're not all, we don't have law degrees.
The law is written in lawyerese. But it has to be not necessarily written so it's dumbed down, but translated into a layman's guide so we can go.
Yeah.
Because, I read this on the internet, and I have no idea if it's true, but, if a policeman comes up to your door, if you invite them in, they now have
the right to search your house.
The right to search your house. And it's just
But you can refuse them. You don't even have to open the door. You don't.
They said, well, one, you don't have to answer the door, but the best thing for you to do is you step outside.
Always step outside
the door.
Yeah, always. Never invite the cops into your house.
To them.
Always step. If you want to open your door, step outside your door. Close the door. Just talk to the police. If they ask to come in, say if respectfully no. We can talk out here. Same with a traffic stop. Whenever I'm in a traffic stop, please pull me over. Do you know why I pulled you over? No, sir. Here's my stuff. And that's all I do. I eyes forward. They explain to me. That's it. Just stoic. I don't say anything. Here's my stuff. They give me my ticket. I drive on my way.
It's a society mentality that, there's too much in the States. There's a lot of, not dissing rap, but, they have that mentality of fuck the police, right? It's spilled over into regular everyday life. A lot of black people have that fuck the police mentality.
A lot of people in general have that mentality.
A lot of...
I myself, I have a little bit of that mentality. I have a little piece of that because I think that it's not because of the police, it's because of the laws that they're enforcing. You know what I mean? And it's like, unfortunately, it doesn't matter if you think you're right or if you think you're right. If you get shot, it doesn't matter if you're dead right or dead wrong. You know what I mean? You're still dead, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It's like if you're walking across the street, pedestrians have the right of way, but if you cut out in front of a car, get smacked, you're dead. It still doesn't matter. Yeah, you were right, but you're dead. So what does that mean? So look both ways before you cross the street. You know what I mean? If you have a problem with what a police officer did to you, it's probably not the best, but we have to go through the system that we have, because what are we going to do? We all going to take guns and start shooting everybody? Then we're just going to have a big war. Is that the option? Is that the option that you guys want? Is that what you want? What is it that... Trust me, I'm the last person who wants
advocates government.
Who advocates it. But what are we going to do? Are we going to start fighting everybody? Are we going to start shooting people? Are we just going to put sniper rifles in our house and start picking people off who have like support the police? Bam, you're dead because you support the police. And it's like, what? You know, it's just it's so like I don't even know. I'm so like scared of. I have 2 young children. I got to bring them up into society where, in a sense, people are.
I'll put this challenge out to you guys. In studying for this segment, you realize just how much violence there actually is out there. It was back. Just in Calgary, we had 2 cop shootings and 2 people gunned down in front of their child in the space of a week. In the U.S., I bet you, in each state, you have your local news. In each city, you'll have, there was another shooting. Chicago, it had their worst killing, murder rate in years for the month of August. And it's just like, yeah, we okay, there's a purpose behind some of that violence, but like, wow, just read into the violence and you'll start to understand that it's like a lot of this isn't necessary. A lot of it can be changed. You have to be one of those people that make a change.
It's how you conduct yourself as an individual. I can't tell him how to think. All I can do...
try. It won't work.
But it won't work. All I can do is go, okay, I believe this. I think that... You know what I believe? I believe that everyone should be good to each other. And I treat other people how I want to be treated. And it's so cliche, and it's I guess it's hard. I guess it's not simple to treat other people how you want to be treated. If you say, hey, how are you? Oh, good. How are you? Good. It's just be cordial. You don't got to be best friends with everybody. Just don't hurt anybody. You don't need to go punch somebody in the face or shoot somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I think that a lot of the violence would be stopped. It wouldn't end. Of course, we're never going to end violence. We're not. Let's be honest. It's never going to end.
Violence is just as much accorded to greed as anything else. Like everything that's going on in Chicago. Well, maybe not everything. A lot of it has to do with gang violence. And
what are gangs involved in?
Drugs.
So what happened if we legalize all drugs? What do you think?
There'd be a lot more lawyering in Chicago. Because I don't need to go shoot them. I could just sue them because they're in my territory type thing. Which
all these gangs can open stores.
Exactly. They
give jobs.
Businesses. And that's a totally another thing. That we have actually talked about drugs in the past. And I think we're both... maybe
kind
not
of
to
on the same page. I think I'm a little bit more extreme than him. He's okay with legalizing some. I'm like, just legalize it all. You know what I mean? And it's like, so yeah, I don't know. Like, I think that you just need to just look inside yourself and go.
There's been a lot of violence. Some of it we can't change, but some of it we can. Don't paint all cops with the same broad stroke. Don't paint all people with the same broad stroke. We do it. We are human. It's human nature to do stupid things like this. And we can't fault you for being human because we are human ourselves. We've done it, we do it, we will do it as much as we don't want to. But when you're sitting there going, oh, well, I see a colored man, I should assume that he's a blah. And it's like, don't say it out loud. And then in your head start going, he's a colored person. He's probably thinking the same thing about me. Just leave him alone and go home.
And, you know, like, I don't know. This is it's just weird. It's a weird time to be. I don't know if it's because we have more knowledge of what's happening.
Well, yeah, we are more aware of what's going on in the world than we ever used to be.
Yeah, it's just very weird because you hear so much about it now, and it's like, it's upsetting and disheartening to go and just wonder, like, man, when is it gonna happen where I see it or where it's directly affects me? And it's like, it could happen, you know, and so. Just be good. Like, what the fuck is wrong with us as a society? What is wrong with us? Like,
there's a lot of things wrong with us. So
you know what? I won't go there. I was gonna
maybe another day.
Guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. We would like you guys to tell us. I really want somebody to tell me where you were about this, like, Sharia law, where you think it's
Sharia law,
whatever. Where you think it's right to kill people. Black Lives Matter, I ask you why you think it's right that you have people under your moniker destroying property and hurting other people for your cause. So, guys, thanks for joining us. Don't forget to do all that good stuff on the social medias. And tune in tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
That was a longer one, eh?